Johnson took over from John Kennedy, number 35. And then, come here, girl. Hey, 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 hey. See, she decided to chase that duck. And 35, 34, you had Dwight Eisenhower. 33, you had Harry S. Truman, who took over when Franklin Delano Roosevelt died, at number 32. At 31, you had Herbert Hoover. At 30, naturally, Calvin Coolidge. At 29, Warren Harding. Here come the 3 W's. At 28, Woodrow Wilson. And at 27, William Taft. At 26, again, you had Theodore Roosevelt. Now you got Theodore Roosevelt 26, and 32 you have Franklin Roosevelt. So let's don't get them confused. That could kind of throw you a curve. At 25, you get William McKinley. At 24, let's go back to Grover Cleveland. Now remember, Grover and Cleveland had somebody in between him. He didn't serve in succession. He served 2 terms, but not in succession. Benjamin Harrison was before him. At 23, Benjamin Harrison was 23. Before Benjamin Harrison, well, let's go over William Henry Harrison. At number 9, William Henry Harrison. So you got Benjamin Harrison at 23, William Henry Harrison at number 9, and before Benjamin Harrison, now you got Grover Cleveland again, and then before Grover Cleveland, now you're going to have Chester Arthur. You know, I don't remember ever hearing about Chester Arthur. There's several I don't remember ever hearing about, like Millard Fillmore, number 13, Chester Arthur, number 21. Number 20 is James Garfield. James Garfield, you remember him by the little Garfield character. And that's number 20. Number 19, you got Rutherford B. Hayes. Number 18, Ulysses S. Grant. Number 17, Andrew Johnson. So you got Andrew Johnson, Lyndon Baines Johnson. Andrew Johnson is number 16, Lyndon Baines Johnson. No, Andrew Johnson, number 17. What am I talking about? Number 17 is Andrew Johnson, and Lyndon Baines Johnson is 36. Remember that 36 is Lyndon Baines Johnson, took over from John Kennedy. Remember that? So you got, so where were we? Andrew Johnson. Now let's go back to, how about Abraham Lincoln? You all remember him. Now surprisingly, he was number 16. And it's kind of amazing to me because I thought he was one of the first presidents, but it shows you how little I knew. Anyway, he's number 16. Number 15 is James Buchanan. Number 14 is Franklin Pierce. Number 13 is Millard Fillmore. That's another one I don't remember. Of course, the streets in Hollywood with the presidents, I've heard of Fillmore, but I didn't know Millard Fillmore. So before Millard Fillmore, you have Franklin Pierce. No, I'm sorry, Zachary Taylor is before Millard Fillmore. Zachary Taylor is number 12. You got James Polk, number 11. Number 10, you got John Tyler. Number 9, here comes William Henry Harrison again. Number 8 is Martin Van Buren. Number 7 is Andrew Jackson. Everybody heard about him. Number 6 is John Quincy Adams. Number 6 is John Quincy Adams. And number 2 is John Adams. That's why I put the middle name in there so we can distinguish between number 6 and number 2. Now number 5, you have James Monroe. James Monroe. Number 4, James Madison. So it's easy to get confused with those two. James Madison and James Monroe. Number 3, Thomas Jefferson. Everybody heard of Thomas Jefferson. Number 2, John Adams. Number 1, George Washington. There's our history lesson today. Here comes the lady. We gotta talk low. Good morning.
Good morning.
Stay over here, girl. Don't walk into the people. Okay. So we went through the presidents. We got a pretty good grip of them. We stumbled a couple times, but we recovered. So those are the tidbits. So remember the pairs of presidents. That's pretty important because that eliminates 10 of them. Then you only have 33 to remember. Then you remember the big ones that everybody knows. You can add another several, like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, John Kennedy. Everybody will remember them. I don't know about Lyndon Baines Johnson, and I don't know about Andrew Johnson. A lot of people might not remember them, but Richard Nixon, I think everybody will remember. I don't think everybody will remember Gerald Ford. He was only a couple years, 3 years to be exact. So I'm not sure about that, but Theodore Roosevelt and Franklin Roosevelt should be pretty easy to remember. Those are easy. You know, you got number 26 and 32 are those. So that should be pretty easy. So this is the challenge for all of my grandchildren's. See if you can memorize that. When we all get together, we'll have a nice big prize for anybody that can cite them, the first name, the last name. You don't need middle names. Well, you do on the ones like William Henry Harrison. You need a couple of them. And Lyndon Baines Johnson, you might need a couple so you don't get confused of who's who. And then you need to do them backwards. Forwards and backwards. You can stumble a little bit as long as you recover. And we're going to have fun with this. Next, we're going to go to all the states in their populous order and with their capitals. So that'll be the next YouTube video. Hopefully this thing has been taping. We got a beautiful day. I forgot to talk about the beautiful day we got today. This side of the lake walk turns out to be about 35 minutes. 25 or 35 minutes, but this tape seems to cut off every 10 minutes, but you can splice them together. I'm going to check it when we get home. Okay, we did a lot of talking. So now let's just enjoy the view. I could probably turn it off now, but we just went at the turnaround point is 2 3/4 miles, which means we're going 5.5 today. 5.5 today. That's not bad. It takes about 1.5 hours. We got the sit down point in the middle, just for the heck of it. The girl might take another swim because it's a little warm today. Not horribly warm, but just a little warm. So the sound works much better without the waterproof back. So remember, if you're using it and sound is important, you got to have the other back on there with the 2 holes in it so you can hear it clearly. So this is probably long enough that it will bore everybody. I'm doing this memory thing because we want to make sure the Alzheimer's doesn't set in yet. I think I'm safe. And dementia set in yet. I am 69. I also know about 30 telephone numbers, at least 20 addresses, and I will know all the states with the capitals very soon. So I'm going to do these little challenges as I walk, and it'll challenge all of you guys, because you can say, hey, if that old guy can do it, it's a lot easier for the young guys with the elastic minds. I gotta guess that some of you already know all the presidents. you might not be able to